This is Modcast, and my special guest today is the famed modder, Eleonora, the legendary mod. Do I need any other adjectives? What else? Queen Eleonora?
Queen of modding, a queen of houses. So
Queen of housing. No, you do more than just houses. You do everything.
These days, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Skyrim was more houses. Fallout's been more
Outfits.
spread out. Outfits, yeah, I guess queen of outfits.
Just of shields. Didn't you do shields recently for Skyrim also?
But I had some like compilation stuff. Well, someone else's mods that I put into another mod.
Let's start from the beginning though. So how did you get into this path or whatnot? I mean, you're from Finland, or what they call Winland in some places.
Winland.
Yes. Has the name officially changed yet, or are you still working on that?
No, still working on it. Land of the Wind.
It's implied, right?
Right. You mean how I started with modding?
Yeah, pretty much. Or you could start before that. Like, what led into that? Like, your childhood, your high school, the day you were born.
I'm actually kind of a new gamer. Like, we had some consoles when I was growing up and some computers and was playing like solitaire on them. But I was never like play 15 hours a day kind of
Really
person who does that. No, yep. Hate to admit it, but Fallout 3 was my first Bethesda game, and Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game.
Oh,
I didn't even know anything about Elder Scrolls when Skyrim came out. My friends were also excited about it, so I pre-ordered it without knowing what it was.
What were your interests before then mainly?
Being a muggle.
Were you into sports? Were you a jock?
We don't have those stereotypes in Finland.
Oh, okay.
I guess I don't even remember what I did before that. I guess I had a normal life, like school and work and dumb hobbies that weren't productive. And I was really bad at sports or anything like that. So I was still like kind of nerdy, but not. I wouldn't have called myself a gamer if someone had asked.
Oh.
So it's weird. And then I got like my first own computer, and I lived on my own, so no one's watching what I was doing.
Right.
So I could just play, and then video games completely took over my life.
Starting with Fallout 3, or was there another game before that you were really like, into gaming that got you into gaming?
I think it was Fallout 3 and GTA 4. I was playing on actually PlayStation 3. I must have clocked like 500 hours in both of those games. So imagine Fallout 3 on PS3 with no mods or anything.
Were the loading times bad?
Yeah, the loading times were bad, and like all the glitches. You can't open up the console when you're playing on PS. Like, if you get stuck, you just reload the game. You can't just glitch yourself with the console with no clip.
Yeah, I think that's how I started too, because a lot of people start that way, where they're console gamers and then they play their first Bethesda game not realizing it's better on PC. So mine was like Oblivion, and the loading times were just insane. Like, I'd have to leave the room, go do something, and come back, and then, maybe it was done by then, but, I loved the game so much that it was worth it. But like 100 or 200 hours in, it starts to get really bad on console.
Oh yeah, because your like saves get all bloated.
Exactly.
So it's like it almost brings the system down with it when it's trying to load that 200 megabyte like save file. Yeah, I remember that, and I kind of like I couldn't go back to it now that I've gotten used to like keyboard and mouse. I just, whenever I try to play with the controller, I just can't do it anymore. Except for like third person, like platformer games. I really like stuff like Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
I'm a super fan of those. So those kind of games are really fun with the controller.
Yeah, there's certain games that are just designed for controller, especially action adventure games and stuff, and platforming and things. Those are I gravitate toward the controller. But anything where there's like shooting mechanics or stuff like that you want the keyboard and mouse to aim, if nothing else. Yeah. Playing Stealth Archer.
Going back to Ratchet and Clank, like on PS4 a while back, and I hadn't played that game for like 10 years. It was so weird, and I sucked so bad. I used to be so good at that game too. Yeah.
You gotta put in the time, I guess. We don't have the time anymore as we're adults. So
I think that's kind of just like how you set up your life to be. These days I have more of a social life, but 3 years or something, I would just like sit on the computer 16 hours a day. That's my choice. I would go to gym like 3 times a week or whatnot. So when people were judging me, like, "What are you doing? I can lift 100 kilos and pick it up and put it back down again. What are you doing with your life? Watching TV and judging me for playing too much video games."
Yes, you could
Yeah,
probably choke them to death and just lift them and throw them. It's just you're that strong.
It's bad.
Yeah, so they're not gonna.
But yeah, I hate when people judge you for doing something passionately and then they're like wasting their time sitting watching stupid TV shows.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nothing wrong with Netflixing all the time. You do what you want to do, but don't judge me if you're gonna waste your time 5 hours a day on TV. Then I do what I want.
Do you feel like your skills at gaming have eroded? Like, are you, like me, an easy mode player now?
It completely depends on the game. Like, so I don't have, like, I recently started playing Undertale, and I rage quit so many times. I was telling my boyfriend, like, how I missed those boss fights, you know, from the old games where you had to, like, learn what the boss was doing, like, think Mega Man or whatever, and you would have to like dodge at a certain time and do certain kind of attacks. And these days I feel like video game bosses are just like bullet sponges. Just hit it enough and dodge a few attacks, and some of those attacks don't even do damage to you because and then I started playing Undertale and I actually had to use skills to get past some fights, and I rage quit so many times until like I get good.
I mean, I feel like there's a happy medium for adults where you want it to be challenging, but not so challenging that you need to invest like every minute of your life to beat it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I definitely for kids, it should definitely be hard for kids because I think kids have like a lot of time, or just like up to college age. I think once you have like a job and everything and like possibly a family, then it gets dicey. So
yeah, it's like all this bullshit of life that you're dealing with, and you don't want to waste time dealing with it. Trying over and over and over of something, some kind of boss fight or some level that is really hard to do, some puzzle, like.
It probably also depends on the type of game too. If it's a game that's heavy on role playing and story, then who cares about the fighting, right? But if it's a game that solely exists to challenge you in terms of just like combat, that game should be hard to beat, right?
Yeah, I agree exactly. Like if I'm there for the story, I might just go easy mode. And like Dragon Age, I played on casual Origins and the Dragon Age 2, the one in Kirkwall. I played those on casual because I was just there for the story. And then I installed mods that made it even easier to play on the. But then I was playing Inquisition, and I played that on Nightmare.
Oh wow!
Because it's just so much easier, like compared to the older games. It's super easy. Inquisition is.
Yeah. It's. I think I played that on normal, which is nightmare mode for me. So. How did you kind of venture in from playing the games into modding the games, I guess?
I had never heard about modding games before I started playing Skyrim, and some people were like, my friends who were playing it were like, did you check out the mods? And I was like, what are mods? And then I found some and I've used them for a few months, and I was like, I realized how they were made. Like, I had no idea basically how to do it, but I realized there was some sort of editor that I could use. I wanted to change something in a player house mod that I picked up, and I was like, I want more mannequins, I must display my loot. And then I decided to edit other people's stuff. That's when people ask me how to get started, I always tell them modify something that you're already using, just to get like reverse engineer other people's stuff. And it was so bad. I loaded the CK up, and it's all these windows popping up, like the object window and the render window. And I was staring at it like, I'm going to cry, because I was so excited that I could start modding.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
And the frustration made me, like, again, rage quit. But then when I started, there weren't like there weren't Discord channels and servers dedicated to modding, and there weren't that many YouTube channels either.
Mm-hmm.
No one's doing tutorials. There were a few forums. You'd have to Google problems every time you wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times. Yeah. But yeah, I started because I wanted to mod mods.
And then did you find like the Bendu Olo tutorial or something that would get you back in? Or like you said you rage quit, but how did you return?
I took a few deep breaths and I went to, I think it was a TES Alliance forum. Oh, it's a modders forum as well, or similar, or maybe it was Nexus. I can't remember. This was like 6 years ago or whatever. Mm-hmm. Wait, 7? It's 2019 already.
It's been like 8 years or 7 years. It's been a like while. 8 years.
So yeah, 7 years ago. I can't remember stuff like that. And I was reading a tutorial that told me to load the data files into the creation kit. And then because I had no idea, I would have to unpack the BSA files as well. Mm-hmm. And this guy was using custom meshes. So I had these exclamation marks inside the render window when I was in the cell. And I was like, how does it work? What do I do? And it took me like a year after I started before I realized that I should unpack the BSA or put it to the creation kit ini file. So it loads the resources, it loads the BSAs into the kit.
So it took a year, or you were actually modding in between then, or?
Yeah, I was just really slowly doing stuff.
Ah, okay.
I didn't get into it as like intensively as I was later.
So it was like 400 rage quits later, you finally got everything to where you're like, I get this.
Yeah, and once you've done it enough, your brain sort of gets into a state where you can figure things out without Googling it. Mm-hmm. It's like when I started to make arrows, I wanted to make poison arrows, and I didn't Google anything. I would just like dig around in the kit, look at the arrows and see what I would have to do to make them, and look at all these properties and follow the keywords and whatnot. Because poison arrows are made of like 4 or 5 different components. So stuff like that. You start learning how to figure out everything. Cat, seriously, you can't. My cat. Wait, she's fine, by the way. She's just a pain in the ass. She's standing between me and the mic on my desk, like, attention please, distracting me. So yeah, it took like probably 2 years to actually like start figuring things out properly without feeling completely lost all the time. I spent like 150 hours on my first house mod, and it's terrible.
So what was the first like official release house mod that you made?
I don't remember the name. It's White Mist Manor or something like that. It was like it's a super popular place too. Like 3 other people have built a house there. It was this huge manor because I didn't know I didn't need to snap everything to grid. Mm-hmm. So everything was snapped to grid, and everything was huge, and I didn't know all the tile kits and everything.
Right.
It's not anywhere available anymore. But I've been meaning to like revisit it. It would be fun to make like a new version of it. Like, this was the original house and this is how I made it now.
I get that idea of like wanting to go back and change everything, because I feel that way all the time about everything, that I want to just redo everything. But then there's also that part of me that just like wants to always look forward and just kind of just, the past is the past, just kind of keep forward. So like, how do you feel about like that in general, I guess?
If you ask me, honestly, I hate all my old mods.
Yes.
I wish I could I know if I took them down, people would get really angry at me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that I would constantly be bombarded with like, my save file needs this mod and that mod, and where did you take them? They were so great. And I'm like, they were complete shit. You have no taste in mods, yo. I have like a bunch of them on my desktop. I have this modding work in progress folder on my desktop that's full of mods that I want to revisit and possibly convert to special edition. Tirashan and Sicarius Refuge. I want to do another Breeze Home, but no, I really want to move forward. I can't stand going back to old projects. I can't stand updating mods. Like, I get into really intense creative drive when I'm making things. Yeah. But once it's done, like, it's really hard for me to finish projects. I have to push myself to get them done. I want to move on. I usually make the house for myself, and by the time it's done, and I start the game and a new playthrough, I'm already fed up with the house because I've been staring at it for so long. Because I'm meticulous about like details and getting it. Like I'm the crazy asshole who goes into editing the angles of items so that they are perfect and they look natural and stuff. What is the cat doing? Is she throwing up? No. And it's like, but when you've been doing that for like 50 hours, you just want to move on and forget about the mod.
Yeah. I feel the same way. You get fatigued, you get tired of it. It's the creative process, and then you get really into it, you get really passionate about it, but then when it's done, it's like behind you like a ponytail, right? Is the phrase.
Yeah, it's like the best mod projects are like, you probably learned something new. Most of the time I figure out something, like how to get around something, how to fix something, another thing. I shouldn't do interviews at 2 a.m. My English is horrible. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't explain. I have like a million thoughts about modding in my head, and they're all trying to come out at once.
Still better than my Finnish.
And it's like when you learn something new, you get really into what you're doing. So finishing but I really want to leave like projects behind once they're done. I hate when people start reporting bugs and I have to go back. I don't understand how you do it with all your like other like big projects, like interesting NPCs. How do you go back and add 50 new NPCs there?
Yeah. Well, that was like adding on top of each other. So like if I added a new NPC, it would be separate. It's a new project. It's the same plugin, but it's a new project, right? But I do understand that anything like old, if I see it, I want to fix it. I want to change it. I don't like the NPC. I want to change everything he says. I want to change everything about it. But then it's like, at the same time, I don't want to go back to old things. I just want to move forward and make new stuff. So the passion isn't there to, even though I hate all my old work, it's like the passion isn't there to go back and fix it. I don't know. It's a natural thing. I think the other thing is that even if I fixed it now, 10 years from now, I'm going to hate what I did today. You know what I mean? It's a never-ending process. So
like artists, painters who paint things, they don't just take old paintings of walls and start redoing it or whatever. And it's like when people come to you and tell you like your 5-year-old mod has like this bug, and they don't understand that I can't just like snap my fingers and it's fixed. I have to figure out where the file is. Usually I download it from Nexus so I can get the latest file, and it's the same file that I need to be working on. And you have to put it in your data file, sort out what your data file condition is, like what's your data folder status? Is it modding? Is it gaming? Does it have a crap ton of loose files that are confusing you? Is it clean? Do you even have the game loaded into your computer, like Fallout 3 or whatever? I don't have that installed right now. And then you have to load the plugin into Creation Kit. You fix something, and while you're doing it, you find other things you want to fix. Or maybe you're adding something, and you think that's it, but it's not it. Then you have to figure out, for example, if it's an outfit, I have to do the CBB version, I have to do the vanilla version, I have to do the low textures version, I have to update all these different files on Nexus, I have to write a changelog, I have to make sure that I'm uploading the correct files to each of these. It's like the thing that should take you 5 minutes, it's going to take you 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to go back to an old mod and just fix the placement of this pot because it's bothering this user. Or add like rain. What's the when it rains in Fallout and your outfit gets like wet?
Yeah. It's the
Some people complain about things like that, which is, I understand why it bothers you. Like if you have an outfit and only one part of it is getting wet when it's raining. That's unimmersive.
Yeah, it's in the material files, right? There's like a wet thing. Yeah. It's just...
But you think it's like a click of the button, but it takes 5 hours to fix that.
Yeah.
That's why I
plus,
hate updating
plus
old
it's
mods.
not the thing that you were passionate about. It's not the thing that you're creative about, and that's why I guess the developers have like dedicated people for that. It's it's not the creative part. It's the sort of the maintenance part, I guess. And it's just less fun. But going back to things that are fun. So what do you kind of how do you like get your inspiration or your creative drive for a house or an outfit or
Sometimes I
anything?
see something. A lot of them are like I want to start a new playthrough, and then I think about what I'm gonna do with the character, how it's gonna be, and then I need a house. Sometimes I see a cool video on YouTube about or another game. I have Dragon Age inspired stuff on Skyrim. I walk around and I see a cool house, and it just like puts my mind into some sort of creative overdrive, and I start thinking about what to do. I see a cool combination of colors on an outfit when I'm shopping, and I'm like, I want to do that. It's weird and random. I usually start with like a very simple theme when I'm making a house, like warrior, thief, assassin, whatever. Sometimes, most of the time, it's for myself.
Not for other people. It's just your special house.
No. Yeah, it's for me. And then people complain that it doesn't look like their character. And I'm like, I wonder why it doesn't look like it suits your character.
Because it's not their house. You just invaded it for some reason. Decided to live there.
Then there's these people who complain that I have like photographs of my character and her friends in the houses. I'm like, don't like it to yourself. It's my house.
Imagine if like I just went into your house and just started complaining about like the pictures of you on the wall or something, your boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
So I just like decided to move in. I was like, what is this here? This is not a painting of me.
Yeah. Sometimes that's how I feel a bit. Like, why are you complaining? I made this for myself and just decided to share.
Do you use some of your sort of same design concepts when you make mods in your own like apartment or living space?
I actually do. It's like I have this thing where I have to have two of each item, like bottles or statues.
Oh.
I put two next to each other at a certain distance, and I've noticed I do it in mods, and I've done it in my house apartment as well. Like I two candle cups or two glass bottles that are equally far away from each other, and then they're like at a certain angle, and it's all over the place, and obscene amounts of plants, house plants. I kill them all the time, and then I buy more. It's like a never-ending cycle. I would save so much money if I would just learn how to take care of plants. So much easier in Fallout.
That's true, because they're fake. Maybe get like plastic plants. But it wouldn't be as what's the word? I don't know. Oxygenating.
Yeah, that like houseplants make the air inside your apartment better. So
yeah.
I want to have those. And my cat is well behaved, and she doesn't eat or ruin houseplants. So if they die, I can only blame myself. I can't blame it on the cat.
That's probably why I can't have a pet, because I would probably take care of it as well as you take care of your plants. It'd be very sad. Constantly.
Yeah, that's why I can't have children,
yes,
because
true.
I can't bear the responsibility. That would be horrible. I would ruin the child. Oh, that's horrible. But yeah, I do. Like, my house is full of clutter. Like, I need to when you need to buy more storage so you can store all the items that you have, then you know you have problems. Like, I have to place new shelves and tables here just so I can place all my clutter.
Yeah, and that's the difference, I guess, with modding. You can just make a new house. Yeah, you just fill it with.
You can just move that wall. Make some more room. Putting shelves up is so easy.
Yeah, maybe you could be like one of those people who just like you'll clutter an apartment that you live in, then you'll move, but you'll leave the clutter there. It would be expensive as hell, but the next person could appreciate it. They'll move in. It'll just be like your mods. They'll use the house.
Sometimes I hope, like, there would be like a fire in my house or something, so I could get rid of all this stuff and just start fresh. Like the same as nuking an ESP, I would just nuke the house and start over from scratch.
Exactly, same concept. Like moving forward, you don't look at your past apartment, you just move on to the new one. But yeah, that would cost a ton of cash. It would be very expensive. In mods, it doesn't cost anything, but in real life,
I wish real life house modding was as easy as it is in the creation kit. Yeah,
Is there a house that you would live in particular? What if you had to pick one house, like in real life? You get transported to Skyrim. Tomorrow you wake up, you're in Skyrim. All your houses are in the game, or in Fallout, whatever you prefer. And you have to pick one house to live in, based on your current character stats.
Oh no, it'd probably be Veterheim, the house in the Windhelm. I love how that turned out. It's large enough, but wait, it doesn't have sauna.
You need a sauna.
Yeah, I need to have a sauna in my house. So one of the player homes that has sauna. Maybe Rota. It has a nice sauna, but it's kind of small.
You would be a warrior type, right? You're melee, you're lifting 200 pounds.
Yeah, warrior type. Rota is my warrior home. It's near Windhelm. It's this like tiny cottage that has a loft. I think it has a basement. I made a small basement to it, and it has an outdoor sauna and crafting place. And it's very small and compact, just the way I like them.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about you. A lot of your homes are just like nice and cozy, and it's a place I would like to live at. Like, I don't need the big mansion, because when I see a big grand palace, it just makes me think, oh, that's going to take a ton of work to clean and maintain.
It's so hard to clean, and like I was living in I live in a studio apartment now, and it's, I don't know what it is in square feet, but it's 27 square meters, maybe 200 square feet. I don't know, it's very small. One room, I'm practically sitting next to the kitchen, and I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment before, 3 rooms and kitchen, and it constantly looked empty. I would have had to spend thousands and thousands on decorating it, like all my stuff that was there in that huge apartment, and it looked completely empty. I lived there for a year, and it looked like I had just moved in. I moved in here into this small studio apartment, put my old stuff here, and within 2 days it looked like I had lived here forever.
Yeah, and you have to have it cluttered.
Clutter was everywhere already, like by the day one. And in the other apartment, I didn't even have enough furniture to place any clutter in. So it's like, I've told people I hate large houses in game, and I've noticed I hate them in real life as well. I just want to have a small place. And it's so hard to decorate those large homes. Like, I've made a few castles in Skyrim, and if you place them full of stuff, they start lagging so badly. But if you leave them empty, they look boring.
Yeah.
So it takes so much work, and then you have to do like weird optimization tricks and use some sort of voodoo black magic to get them to not crash when you load the cell. And it's.
But you're definitely a fan of using statics, though, right? Instead of like individual instance items, like, because you don't want to knock things over and then you forever a mess, right?
It's weird, and then the cell doesn't reset. Like the cells reset in game like every 30 days or something, but you come home all the time and it stops the cell from resetting. So it's really bad. Like, your follower just randomly walks into the middle of the room, and on the other edge of the manor something falls off a shelf.
Yes.
It doesn't even make any sense, but it keeps happening. So
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's like if I walked into your house and the faucet started turning on.
It doesn't happen in real life. It shouldn't happen in game. Like, the day I learned how to make statics, like take any mesh and make it a static, a whole new world opened up to me, because I would push things together and they wouldn't get sent flying all over the place. Could merge things, make cool looking new things. Yeah. The problem with that is that every time you want to make something static, you have to make a new object. You have to add the file path to it, and you know how long it takes to build a house where every single ladle and pot and kettle and apple you have to make static, and then you have to make new objects from them and give them the file path to the apple and the pot.
No.
It takes so long. It's like extra 50% time wasted just so I can make everything static.
But it's worth it when you walk around and run into things and they don't fly all over the place and spin around, start breakdancing on the floor, because that's what happens a lot when Havoc goes crazy.
Or you don't even have to do it. It's like you forget to unbind Unrelenting Force and you press the wrong key or Alt tab to your desktop and you come back and you do a dragon shout inside your home when you've Alt tabbed, and then that's it. You don't even have to have a follow with you. So.
On the other hand, it's kind of realistic in a way. If you actually had dragon shout power and you walk home one day and just sneeze and then everything's all over the place, it's like, fuck.
Things get knocked off the shelves. It
would be a boon to the housekeeping business if nothing else, because people would just constantly be hiring people to clean up their Fusroda shit. Is there something that you want to learn in terms of modding that you haven't yet? Something you want to do?
I would really like to make better outfits, like from scratch. Like, I want to learn outfit modeling. I think that would open up a whole new... when I learn something new, or I have new assets to use, it really drives me to create more things. So if I could make my own outfits, instead of just modifying existing pieces and merging stuff together, that's something I'd really like to learn.
Is that something you have to go to school for, or is it something that you could pick up on your own, just with internet tutorials?
Most people would probably pick it up on their own. I've been trying to look for schools, but there isn't any, like, you can't just go to school for 3D modeling. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of tutorials around, but I hate watching videos on the computer. It's the same with TV. I don't really want to watch. I want to be interacting with what I do. That's why games are so good. You have the story and you're part of the story instead of just watching it. Anyway, getting sidetracked. So I don't like to sit and watch tutorials, which is basically the only way you learn on your own if you're sitting at home.
How would that work? Is there a way that you could learn and I guess be a part of the learning process? Is that what you're saying in terms of just...
Yeah, it's like when you sit in a class or a lecture, and the teacher is telling you that you have to do this. It's absolutely, you won't pass the course if you don't do the work.
Exactly.
So that's like a motivator that you actually have to do it. When I'm just sitting here thinking, like, it would be nice to be able to do outfits, and I'm like, oh, look, shiny Sims 4. Yes. Oh, wait, I should do a mod. I should do something that I actually know how to do already, instead of like doing something that's gonna make me rage quit 5 times and make me miserable for a while, because I hate not knowing things, and I kind of like learning new things, but I also hate it. I hate not knowing. That's why I never start new video games, because I hate learning new mechanics and whatever. I'm a horrible learner.
Do you find it's hard to stay focused on things? You get easily distracted? Or?
Some things, like if I have to read or do something boring, then I'm like, Facebook, cat, make more coffee, Discord, internet browser, all the time browser. It's horrible. I can't focus on things if they bore me. But then when I'm like doing something that I'm really into, I don't even know. It's just 2 hours passes and Chris starts calling me on Discord like, are we gonna do the interview or not? What are you doing?
Yeah,
we were supposed to talk 2 hours ago. I'm like, no, I was building a house.
Yeah. You're opening up like 6 browsers right now, so I could feel it because I'm boring.
If you hear weird clicking, that's me.
No, I mean, if you're passionate about something, if you're like really into it, I find that it makes everything easier. It's like, it's not work. It's just, it doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter how difficult the mountain is to climb. If you are into it, like you're gonna climb that mountain. But if you hate it, it could be like a flight of stairs, but you hate it. You hate walking up there, so you're done with it. You can't even walk one step. It's just strange.
It feels like completely like you can't do it. you know you could. Basically, you know you can do it. You can learn it if it's an obstacle, but you just can't motivate yourself. But when it's something you're really into and you need it, you need to know it to move forward with this awesome project that you're doing. You're just gonna. You have a completely different drive for solving problems. Yeah, exactly, for example.
Exactly.
Like it's actually fun to get past problems and learn new things and new tricks that could get you the results that you're going for. But when it's something that you're just doing because you have to do it, it feels completely... what's the word? Can I use a dictionary?
Sure. It's like a grind, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you can't do it. It gives me insurmountable. I guess.
Yeah, insurmountable works.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
It feels insurmountable. It feels like Il pääsemätön. Yeah, that was my attempt.
Ylitse pääsemätön.
How was my Finnish?
If I wasn't staring at the word, I would have no idea what you were trying to say. Not trying to insult you, but the A with dots and the O with dots are a bit tricky.
Yeah.
There's too many vowels in that word. Why are there dots all
over these words? Yeah, okay. Why are there consonants there and vowels next to each other? It makes no sense. No. Have you played like any like space games or stuff? Are you excited at all about Starfield? Do you know anything about it? I mean, like, or how do you feel about it?
I don't know anything about it, so I'm like, I'm the type of person who doesn't look into games beforehand. I don't look at trailers. I don't look at like movie previews. I just go there and I'm like, I either like it or I don't. That's how I bought Skyrim and Dragon Age. Anyway, I do like sci-fi things, and I just hope it's not like, I guess it won't be an MMO. Because I can't stand like a world where I'm constantly bumping into other players. Fallout 76 was okay. It wasn't that full. I don't like the feeling of being a complete noob and then there's this level 95 god tier dragon bone armor dude with rainbow gold shit all over him, and he's got like a rainbow colored unicorn, and I have this rat following me.
Is Fallout 76, if they are going to make modding available, I assume at some point, so is that not a game that you can plan to mod? Or
I might. Depends on what kind of tools I can use and what could be done to it. Like, I don't want to risk my account changing the color of my vault suit. It's not worth it. But I would like to have like a player base. I've gone completely dependent on player housing and looting and stuff. I don't know how it would work for 76. I need to get back to that game. I will get back to that game.
Yes, you need to accept my friend request that I've sent to you like 100 times, I think.
Yeah, we've tried to do that like 20 times. I don't understand. Never showed up, and now I haven't launched the game in like 2 weeks. Because we were talking about space games. I'm excited about Starfield because it's something new, and when I see because I work with them, I see how excited they are. They are so passionate, and they're like, so cool to work with Starfield. They don't tell you what it is, but you can see how they feel about it, and that gives you excitement because they're proud of it and excited to do. They were excited to do Fallout 76 as well because it was something new.
Yeah, I think though Starfield it's just a fresh palette. Like, it's something different. If you're wearing the same clothes every day and then you get to wear something different, or if you're eating the same food every day and then you get to eat something different, it's just because it's new, there's novelty to it. And I guess like my metaphor is that they've been working on Fallout, they've been working on Elder Scrolls, Fallout Elder Scrolls. This is something completely different, and it's just creatively I think there's going to be more of a passion for it, so I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they're going to have more drive to do it, and they're going to feel better about, or at least excited for now. I don't know. Wish I knew what it was.
So is it going to be like space houses that you can make, space outfits? Or
I would love, like, I prefer modding Fallout to modding Skyrim, because Fallout gives you more like leeway. You can do crazy shit. You got better lights. If I could do space houses, like I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But for space games like Prey, I never played that.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how challenging it is. I would love to mod Dragon Age if there was an option to. I would love to do stuff for Dragon Age if it was as easy as Bethesda games.
Yeah. The original Origins was easy to mod, but then they went to the Frostbite engine, and then yeah, it's just got awful.
Yeah, I didn't even want to look into how I would start creating mods for. I don't get excited about like changing colors of outfits or whatever it is that it started with. Like there are some good mods for Inquisition, but nothing crazy, nothing that would interest me. I will use the mods, but I wouldn't want to be making them myself.
Yeah, so I mean the development or the engine, Frostbite engine, like even the developers themselves have a hard time using it. So modding it is probably impossible. So hopefully they switch up, but even Unreal or Unity, which are the most popular engines to use, there's still a learning curve. There's still a lack of access in terms of using source code, whereas with Bethesda games, everything's out there. They let you use everything, and the kit is really easy to use. So it's never going to get to like a Bethesda level, but maybe it might be easier in the future. I don't know.
More companies should do what Bethesda is doing. It's just so fantastic. You can just go in and I don't like the main quest. I wanted to go to friendly, and then you can just go and change it completely.
Yes.
Or if you want to fix or edit like environments, you can just go there and do it. 'Cause,
you could turn Nazim into a Horker. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, like in other games, when you're trying to mod it, they're just like sort of dirty hacks.
Yeah.
Because they're made by the community and everything, so it's never like. Well, it's not simple. Things could go wrong and stuff.
So, what in Dragon Age do you want to mod? Would you add homes or characters, outfits? Something new?
I would like to have like the place in, for example, where you're with Inquisition. It feels like you do crafting and then you do some quest stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't go there to rest. You don't go there to cook. What I really hate is I have all this loot and I can't store it. Sure, they added storage chest later, but that's the kind of thing that I really miss. Like I would have wanted to have proper storage in my. I had this room for the Inquisitor, and the room was completely useless. There was like a paper you picked up, and then there was no reason to go back there other than to trigger some companion cutscenes.
Go to that balcony and make out or something.
You change, yeah, and that was it. Like I wanted to like have a place where I could actually go store all my stuff. I could change the bed through some sort of weird customize your home base menu, but it didn't feel like my place. It just felt like a place where you could craft things, and it has a few quests, and that's it. Dragon Age would be nice to mod.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could implement those ideas into TES 6 when that comes out.
I hope they continue with mod support the same way for Elder Scrolls 6.
Are you excited about the location possibility? I mean, people are speculating it might be Hammerfell.
Yeah, that would be nice. Nice change after all the trees and ice of Skyrim. So we've been roaming the barren snow and ice wasteland now, and
do you have
would be nice to.
Idea for a house for the desert? What kind of desert house are we gonna have?
Oh, desert house would be full of like ornamental decorations, Persian rug kind of things, and it would have like cool lanterns.
Oh yeah, the lanterns.
Really nice lights.
Is the best.
And like it could have really cool windows, like the window frames and everything would be really like ornamental. That would be cool, and also warm colors and palm trees. That would be awesome.
You should come out to California. There's palm trees everywhere. You get ideas.
Yeah, but the palm trees in California are like dry.
Yes.
They look so dry. All of the palm trees I've seen, they look like they're dying. I guess they're not dying.
You
but...
feel right at home.
You're right. It's like, did I do this?
Yes.
These people are the same as me. They killed their palm trees.
That's pretty much. It is pretty much our fault. We do neglect them. We don't water them. We don't have much water. Although that's changing.
I was gonna say that. Yeah. How is it changing?
I guess with global warming, I don't know if that's the cause, but it rains here all the time. It snowed here for like the first time in like a long time. It was crazy.
What?
Yes.
North California?
No, Southern California. Snow in Southern California. It was insane.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Like years ago, I was in San Diego, and I had a friend who's like 30 years old or whatever, almost, and he was from Arizona, and he had never seen snow. We went to North California, and there was snow. I think it was October or something.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, it was weird. He was like, he'd never seen snow.
Yeah. Well, normally it's sunny every day. Like right now, it's probably like I don't know the Celsius, but it's probably like 90 degrees. It's Fahrenheit. 90.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah. No, it's not it's 32 Celsius. It's not a great thing. I mean, we don't have any turn of seasons like you have over there.
Yeah, that's what I really like here about Finland. It's like you get the distinct 4 seasons. Like right now, it's definitely spring.
Yeah.
It's getting warmer and it's getting sunnier and things are starting to grow. It takes a lot longer than in other places, and last year we had a great summer that was hot and sunny and awesome. If I was living somewhere where there weren't seasons, like I love San Francisco. It's an awesome place, but the weather is always shit. It's so crap. It's like you never know. It's always cold and it's always grey and it's always miserable, and even if it's supposed to be like warm because you're in California, it's not. You could have a winter jacket and still be cold.
Yeah. I was born in San Francisco, so I spent the first 20 years of my life there. So I know. There's a famous quote: "The coldest winter I've ever spent was a summer in San Francisco."
Accurate, because like no matter what time of year I've been to San Francisco, it's always grey and miserable there. Yeah. Like if you get lucky, you can get some sunshine, but it's still weird.
There's places like that. England is like that too, right?
England is, yeah. It's every time I've been there, it's been raining
But not Finland. Finland. I need to go over there. I need to go to Finland. I have my laptop and get a hotel with wireless internet or something. We're gonna hang out.
The internet here is so good, dude. I have like 900 megas down. Like I have like a Google Fiber thing, like gigabit Ethernet, so I can download all the things.
I'm so jealous, because
and it doesn't cost anything. It costs something, but it's like the prices where you are ridiculous for internet and mobile connections.
Yeah. The price to exist is too high here. On that note, last thing, is there any mod that you're looking to release or anything that you're working on now that might come out in the near future?
I cursed this earlier, but I'm working on update for my biggest Fallout mod, the Armor Compendium. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fix a few glaring issues and update it for DLCs, because most people have the Game of the Year edition now. Yeah. Most people have the DLC, I guess. So I can add way more stuff. So I'm gonna add new outfits that make use of the DLC assets, like Nuka World Raider stuff. Mm-hmm. So new armors, and then I'm probably going to try to convert a couple of my armor Skyrim houses for the special edition. It's like I haven't run out of modding ideas. I just haven't been playing these games. Right. It's not that I'm bored with it or anything. I'm not going to stop modding. It's just life's been crazy for like the past 8 months or so. Mm-hmm. So I haven't been playing it. When I play these games, I make mods for them because I need those mods. And I'm inspired by the things I do in the game. Yeah. But right now I'm not playing, so no mods coming out. No. But I am slowly building my Fallout 4 again, and I might start streaming, modding, and playing as well.
Nice.
So probably gonna be more productive.
Is that
in
something
the near future
you're actively gonna start working on? Is just like your channel and your social media stuff?
I'd really want to. I haven't been able to figure out how I want to do it. When I start streaming, I end up doing it for like 8 hours straight. And I don't think that's a viable plan to do that 3 times a week or anything. I want to stream games and modding in a way that people can actually follow it. But real life always seems to get in the way.
You do have the hardest part down, which is getting the followers and getting the people, the social media aspect of that, right? How many followers do you have on YouTube or Twitter?
YouTube, probably 16,000 subscribers.
See, there you go.
The channel description for years and years was, I don't know why you would subscribe to this, and people still subscribe to it. I post one video a year or whatever, and my Twitch is probably around 2,000, and Twitter is 8.
Wow.
Maybe
that's what I need to do. I need to start saying, stop subscribing, leave. We're not posting any videos, and then watch them all come in. Because that is impressive.
I think it's the amount of mods I have on Nexus. They bring visibility, and because I'm a female, that's one part of it.
Magical powers.
Yes, the magical power of boobs. To get the followers easier.
That's what I need to do. I need to hire the face of my brand. It's not going to be me. It's not even going to be a face. It's just going to be a pair of boobs. Yeah, so it's like that you have the groundwork, you have the people, you have the audience. They're just waiting for content. I think you should monetize that audience. Go for
it. I really would like to. I want to make like YouTube stuff. I want to make tutorials, but I hate video editing. So that's one of the things
hire a video
pulling
editor.
Me back.
No, tutorials though, that's like, it's a small audience. There's only a certain amount of people who want to mod the game. Mm-hmm. I think if you streamed and played, that could apply to a lot of people. I don't know, but see, something to think about it. Whatever's fun, just do something that's fun for you.
Because streaming takes a lot of time. Like you have to prepare, and because I'm on camera and everything, I want to feel good about being on the camera. So I have to like wear makeup, and I have to get a shower before I can stream. So it takes a lot of time. And when there's like only 15 people watching it, I feel like I could be doing something else. I don't want to put all this effort into being presentable and not like being able to do what I want here, because sort of when you're live on camera, and if it's only like a handful of people, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Nobody wants to watch it, so I would have to play games that are very popular, which are games that I don't really care about, like Fortnite or whatever battle royale games or World of Warcraft. I don't want to play those games.
No, play Undertale. So I'd watch.
Yeah, that. I'm just gonna constantly stream Undertale, the same story. It takes you 10 hours to complete the entire game.
It's alright. It's alright.
Just over and over.
Do what you love. Do what you love. That's the most important thing. Well, we talked for an hour. I want to thank you for coming on. It's like 3 a.m. where you're at, right? I'm very sorry.
No, it's my fault.
No. Thank you for talking to me.
It's okay.
Or as they say.
Thank you for having me.
In Finnish, kiitos, että puhut minulle.
That's impressive. I could understand that. Nice. And that was simple enough for Google Translate to get it right.
Yes. Thank you, Google Translate, for that assist. And
that was awesome.
I'll talk to you later.
Catch you later.